Hello everybody, it's Mr. Cinema Junkie here with my video entry to Tyler and Sarah's contest, The Good, Bad, and Unusual. They're running two separate contests. Each one of them is running their own contest. And they said you can enter both by making one video just addressing both contests, which is what I'm going to do here. What I didn't catch in the video was, are we supposed to own these movies and show them to you, or just tell you about them? Because I don't own any of these except for maybe one. But here goes nothing. First off, Sarah wants us to tell her about surreal movies. A couple of our favorite surreal films, I guess. And I don't watch a lot of surreal artsy films, but I have seen a few. And there's two that come to mind. One is an older movie, and Salvador Dali, I believe, had something to do with it. He produced it, directed it. There are two names on that bill, but Salvador Dali is the one, of course, that really stands out. And it's I'm probably going to murder the title, because I don't speak, I think it's French, I'm not sure. But it's Un Chien Andalou. Un Chien Andalou. And I remember watching it for the first time a few years back. And there's a part that really gets under my skin. But it's when the lady's sitting in the chair, and the guy comes up with a straight razor. He just sharpens up a straight razor, and he grabs her hand, opens her eye real wide, and then he takes the blade and puts it under her eye, and they cut to a scene of the moon. And when they cut back, you see the blade cut the white of her eye, and it just everything spills out. It's kind of horrific. Then it goes into scenes of ants crawling out of the holes of somebody's hand, and a lot of strange imagery, but very very effective in its work. So that's one. And the other one that I would suggest, I could have gone a few different ways, some David Lynch movies, but I decided to go in another direction and recommend Santa Sangre, which is, I guess this translates into Holy Blood. Very strange tale, very strange movie. A kid who lives in a circus. His father, I believe, is the ringmaster. He's also the knife thrower. His mother is a religious type. She's deep into the church. She catches his dad cheating on her and throws acid on both of them. Well, the father freaks out and puts her up against the board where he throws his knives, and he takes these two knives, sticks them under both her arms, and chops both her arms off. She just bleeds everywhere. And later on, the boy grows up and he becomes his mother's arms. He has to put his arms through her sleeves and play piano for her, or sew, or he just basically becomes her functioning arms. He is institutionalized for a period of time, and there are some scenes in there where they use people who actually have some type of a mental challenge, like I believe some of the guys had Down syndrome, and it was kind of a trip to watch this movie, because there's some scenes like where this guy gives one of them coke, puts it up his nose, and he's like it burns, but he wasn't acting. He was really kind of challenged, and I don't know. I guess they filmed it in another country where you can get away with that kind of thing, but it does have some very beautiful imagery. It is very surreal, and I love the ending of the movie most of all. It was really, really great. I won't give it away, of course. I don't know if you've seen it or not. I would be very surprised if you hadn't seen it, because it seems like you see pretty much everything out there. So those are my suggestions. Excuse me. My titles for Sarah, Un Chien Andalou, and Santa Sangre. Those are my surreal choices. And Tyler wants black and white movies. Well, first off, let me start with one I could have put on Sarah's list very easily, and that one is Begotten. Supposedly, it's about the story of Christ, but told in a very strange and very odd way. It has a lot of brutal imagery. One of the more brutal images that I remember seeing was a person tied to a chair, and they're cutting their own stomach open with a straight razor. I remember watching that scene and for some reason feeling very feverish afterwards. I mean, the whole movie is like one long sick, but it's going to sound weird saying this, but not in a bad way. There are certain movies I feel have kind of a subliminal thing going on, whether it's the noise that they play constantly, like this white noise or kind of background noise that's going on, and then the way it's shot in this very stark and gritty black and white. I think it plays with your head a little bit, but it's definitely one to see at least once. I think I've seen it a total of twice, so you definitely want to check it out at least once. Speaking of black and white movies that kind of get into your head all the wrong way, my second suggestion is Eraserhead, or my second favorite is Eraserhead. David Lynch movie. That one had some kind of like strong messages as far as God and Satan and death and sin, and if you know what to look for and know where those spots are, you can follow it pretty easily. Oh, excuse me. But there's just something about it that just kind of gets way back in your skull when you're watching it. I'm not sure if it's, like I said, if it's the noises that they make, or if it's just the way it's shot, or what the deal is, but yeah, it really jacks with your psyche a little bit. Has one of the creepiest looking mutant babies I've ever seen, and people for years have been trying to figure out what did he make that thing out of. It's supposed to be a baby, but it's mutated beyond all recognition as a baby. So there's a lot of people trying to speculate, what did he make that out of? What is that baby made out of? And I've heard all sorts of rumors about what it could be, and like some kind of chicken with the beak cut off, which doesn't really look like a chicken. All sorts of different things, and yeah, it just has a very very strange kind of like an underlying subliminal tone to it. But it's a great movie. It's just most people that I show it to wind up like taking me off a speed dial and they don't want to talk to me anymore. Go figure. But this is one title I do own, and it is one of my favorite black and white movies. It's Angels with Dirty Faces, starring James Cagney and Pat O'Brien, and a few scenes with Humphrey Bogart in it. Basically about a thug type who grows up in this neighborhood and gets pinched by the police and gets sent away for a long time, and he receives his so-called education in jail. He learns how to be a tough guy. He learns how to be a street guy. Meanwhile, his friend who used to pull crimes with him has become a priest, and his job is kind of looking out for the neighborhood kids. Well, when the neighborhood kids find out that the priest knows this famous gangster type, well, they just completely lose it, and they they want to follow him around, and they want to do everything he says, and they kind of lose interest in doing anything good. Very high moral type of story. Basically, the priest asks him when he gets caught for some crimes that he committed, and they're going to send him up for the big ride in the electric chair. And the priest asks him for a favor, and he says, well, sure, if you think I'm going to let the kids down, don't worry, I won't let them down. He's like, no, I want you to let them down. I don't want them to see you go in bravely. They're going to admire you, and I want the last thing they do is to make a hero out of you. So he has this dilemma of whether he wants to do this one favor for his friend, or if he's going to go out in a blaze of glory to satisfy the hero worship of these kids. I can see a movie like this being remade today, but it will never touch the charm of this movie. I mean, it's just an excellent, excellent film. And there's a lot of Cagney movies that fit that bill, but I'm going to go with that one. Angels with Dirty Faces. Definitely one of my favorites. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. And that will be my video entry. Hopefully my presentation was good enough. I hope. But thanks, guys, for the opportunity, and good luck to everybody else who's entering the contest. You guys take care, and I'll be talking to you soon.